it going, guys? Welcome back to the second part of my snorkeling and scuba diving adventure here on the island of Dumaguete in the Philippines. In the first video we saw an absolute load of stuff, including turtles, so let's see what we can find in this one. My name's Adam and welcome to Nature Scope.
Yes, 3 amazing dives to show off in this one. If you missed the first episode, there's a link in the description. But let's crack on to our first dive, which was called the Pavilion. This was just a short 5-minute boat ride from the Cuckoo's Nest house reef, and literally the second we got there, we jumped in and we saw one of these. This is a banded sea krait. Banded sea kraits have a bit of a reputation for being quite a chill animal. They don't tend to attack divers. Even despite this though, they actually contain 10 times the amount of venom than a rattlesnake does. I really love snakes and I think they get a really unfair reputation, especially here in the UK. I'm really comfortable being around snakes when I'm on land. However, when I'm in the water already at a disadvantage and there's a snake there, I was keeping well away. As if seeing one of the most venomous animals on the planet wasn't enough, literally seconds later we came across a turtle. This dive was already proven to be absolutely fantastic. The turtle seemed quite chill with us being there and was actually quite curious as to what we are. Whenever I've dived with turtles before, they seem to just ignore you, they don't really care you're there, but this one kept turning back, having glances at us, even swam up to us at one point. We actually got to spend about 5 minutes with this turtle. You can see that the environment's completely different to where we started, but eventually it decided it was sick of us and just swam off into the blue. I said it last video and I'll say it again, it wouldn't be a Nature Scope diving video without a moray eel. This is a Mediterranean moray, a black eel with gold spots. This is a white spotted pufferfish. We saw loads of pufferfish in the last video and we'll see loads more in this one. I was really blown away by the variation of different shapes, sizes and colours of pufferfish they had in the Philippines. Our first nudibranch of the video now, and for those of you who don't know what nudibranchs are, they're like small little sea slugs, but they're almost like Pokemon. They come in so many different colours, so many different shapes, they're absolutely beautiful. I believe this one is a blue velvet nudibranch, although I'm not 100% sure, so please feel free to correct me. I said earlier about the different types of pufferfish in the Philippines, well here's another one, this one more spotty, sort of zebra striped. At this point, our dive guide was tapping me, telling us to film. She was pointing at something, but I couldn't see what it was. Believe it or not, there is a fish on this frame now. I couldn't see it at all until it was pointed out to me clearly. I'm zooming in on it now, and hopefully you can see it. It's so well camouflaged, really blended in with the rock. Zooming in even further now so it should become clear. This is a crocodile fish. There were loads of these abandoned fish traps that had just been left there. Over time they'd rotted so they weren't really a threat anymore, and what tends to happen in the sea is if you leave something there for a long time, it becomes part of the ecosystem. Things start to build up on and around it, and as you can see here, this is almost its own entire habitat. There's corals growing on it, there's fish living inside it. A feather starfish chilling on one of the abandoned fishing net ropes. Just showing off some of the life that grows in and around these abandoned fish traps. There are beautiful soft corals, really colourful hard corals, and of course, we can see it coming up, there's clownfish, there's anemones, there's small fish. Genuinely, these become permanent habitats. I thought this was a pufferfish at first, but it's not. This fish is called a longhorn cowfish, which might be one of the better names for fish, I think. I was blown away by some of these bigger basket-shaped hollow corals. They'd always be on their own and they'd grown absolutely massive. Believe it or not, I'm also looking again at another fish. Just like the crocodile fish in the previous clips, this big black thing you can see to the left of that sort of yellow and black soft coral is a stonefish. In the first episode, we were actually lucky enough to film a stonefish swimming, which is really, really rare. These animals are also, again, really venomous. That was the end of the first dive though. It was time for a quick surface interval, grab a bite to eat, and it was time for our second dive, which was once again on Cuckoo's Nest House Reef. Another pufferfish to start off our second dive. I'm not 100% sure what species this is, but I think it's a black spotted puffer. The route we took on this dive showed us absolutely loads of these giant clams. Genuinely, these were the size of my torso. I'd never seen clownfish like these before. These are orange skunk clownfish. This is a juvenile ribbon eel. When they get older they become more colourful. I'll put a photo on screen now, but I've never seen one this young, and usually I've seen them brightly coloured, so this was really cool to see. This clip just shows how much is going on amongst the corals. Everywhere you look there's something different, a different type of fish darting in and out. It just shows how important corals are for this ecosystem. A juvenile trumpetfish. I've seen them grow to about 2 meters. This is another Mediterranean moray eel, but much younger. They sort of grow out of those googly eyes eventually. This fish here baffled me and my wife for days. We were trying to work out exactly what it was. It was one of the most beautiful fish we've ever seen. Eventually we asked our dive guides and they told us it was a juvenile sweet lips. You won't believe how different this fish looks when it's an adult. That fish on screen now is an adult sweet lips. I don't think I've ever seen a juvenile and an adult look so different. And that signals the end of dive 2 as well as that day's diving. I've only got one more dive to show you, which happened the next morning. This dive was without a guide, so we went out on our own, so we kept it really simple. We went out one way and came back the other. We didn't really go off in many different directions. This dive, once again, was on Cuckoo's Nest's house reef. If one banded sea krait wasn't enough for you, then we stumbled across 3 at once. This must have been some sort of hunting ground, some sort of hiding spot for the sea kraits. There was absolutely loads of them. I got a tap on the shoulder, and as I turned the camera around, it turns out there was one swimming. This one was off in the complete opposite direction to where we were, but it just shows you how big they are, how much of an advantage they have on us as well. They're much faster, much more streamlined, much quicker. Really cool to see. This one looked like it was hunting. It went up and then came straight back down. This dive we really didn't see much. Because we were on our own, we just sort of took it easy and really appreciated the environment we were in. This was our last dive of this trip and we knew we weren't going to see corals again for a long time. So we just enjoyed it before we had to go back to that cold, dark, low visibility diving that we have here in the UK. A huge patch of anemones and clownfish here. I couldn't work out the dynamic. I don't know if there was some younger ones that have grown up or whether this was just multiple different families living amongst the same anemone. There were a fair few of these lionfish about. They're actually invasive in most parts of the world, but here in the Philippines it's their natural habitat. I mentioned it a bit in the first video and I'm not affiliated with them at all, but I'd really recommend the place we stayed at, Cuckoo's Nest, if you want to do a little bit of diving. Their house reef is absolutely beautiful. Everywhere you look there's colour, there's life and so much to see. Another type of nudibranch here, it's curled up and I couldn't get the camera to focus, so if you know what it is, please do let me know, I'm really curious. Everywhere I dived in the Philippines, I was just completely blown away by the corals. Even when I've been to Egypt, which is one of the sort of mainstays, one of the recommendations you should go to dive, the corals there weren't this beautiful. There was of course the patches of bleached coral, which are unfortunately standard everywhere you dive now, but I just couldn't believe how much colour there was everywhere you looked. There was some really healthy corals on this reef, and I hope it continues to thrive. We finished the dive with I think our 4th or 5th species of pufferfish we've seen in this video. Genuinely, like I said, I was blown away by how many there were. There was also this jellyfish just as we got back to the shore, which was really, really cool to see. But that brings to an end the diving I did in the Philippines. What a cracking trip.
So that's it, that's the end of my snorkel and scuba diving adventure here in the Philippines. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, it really, really helps us out. And if you missed the first episode, there's a link in the description. Comment down below, have you been scuba diving in Asia? Where did you go and what did you see? I really want to explore more of this continent. Subscribe to Naturescope so I'll be sending more future videos. We've got plenty more coming throughout the rest of the year. Thanks again and I'll see you next time. Cheers.